Hello, Laker fans. My name is Kobe Sato, and this is a Laker Holics live postgame show. Thank you to the people currently streaming through YouTube and Facebook. Make sure to subscribe. Thanks for the support. What a tough night for the Lakers, who lost tonight to the Boston Celtics, their rivals. Most championships all time, both at 17 down at Crypto.com Arena to kick off a 3-game home stretch for the Lakers with the final score of 122 to 118 in overtime. They're now 6-7 at home, 5-9 on the road with the overall record of 11-15, which is currently 13th in the Western Conference, still tied with the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Celtics team came in with a record of 21-7, which is first in the Eastern Conference and first in the entire NBA. They came off a rare loss to the Clippers last night. They just finished off tonight with the last game of their road trip, of a 6-game road trip like the Lakers just came off of. They're now 3-3. What a tough night, man. Lakers were down as much, I believe, as 20 tonight. Let me tell you exactly. Yeah, Lakers were down as much as 20 tonight. In the third quarter, I honestly wanted to turn off this game. And then the Lakers went on this crazy 18-0 run. The Lakers ended up taking the lead in the fourth. They went up as much as 13 points. Then the Lakers do what they always do in the fourth quarter down in crunch time. They don't play perimeter defense, like I talked about last post-game show. The way the Lakers are going to win this game against the Celtics last game, at the end of the last game, I said, was if they play perimeter defense. We looked at the stats, and the Celtics are the number one offense in the league. They take the most three-point attempts. They make the most three-point attempts in the league. And the Lakers didn't read their scouting report, I guess, because down the stretch, they gave up too much threes to Marcus Smart, to Robert Williams III, and they ended up blowing it. And Anthony Davis had a chance again to seal the game, going to the free throw line, missed both, kept it a 3-point game. And Jason Tatum ended up hitting a jumper over LeBron to send it in overtime. And then in overtime, Russell Westbrook started off looking pretty good. He hit a couple layups, was pretty aggressive going to the rim. And then he started feeling himself, and he shot some mid-range jumpers, which clanked in the front of the rim. Then he shot a couple of threes, open threes, since the Celtics' game plan was to leave them open. And he missed. Then the LeBron and AD were gassed. I mean, the same starting five with I believe it was Reeves, AD, LeBron, Russ. I forgot the other player that was in, and Troy Brown Jr. My hats go off to Darvin Ham for at least keeping Troy Brown Jr., who's a wing in the game, to guard Jason Tatum, because half of the game he had Dennis Schroeder and Pat Bev guarding Jason Tatum, who's like 6'10", 6'11", and Darvin Ham loves to play his 3 or 4 guard rotation, and the Lakers fell down by 20 because of that. But yeah, so the Lakers play the same lineup with 6 minutes left in the third quarter throughout the fourth and into overtime. LeBron and AD were gassed, so that's not an excuse for AD to miss those layups. I mean, not those layups, sorry, those free throws, which would have iced the game for the Lakers, which is, by the way, the second time in a row that Anthony Davis has missed some clutch free throws to seal a game. Can you make some free throws? Pissed off. Let's go into the scorecard, the stats for tonight. Jason Tatum he always loves playing in Los Angeles with the lights shining bright down in Crypto.com Arena or Staples Center or whatever you want to call it. Jason Tatum played 44 minutes tonight, had 44 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. He was 15 from 29 from the field tonight, super efficient. 5 for 10 from the three-point line, 9 from 10 from the free throw line. He was plus 12 from the field. Jaylen Brown, the 1-2 punch of the Celtics, had a pretty good game himself. He had 25 points off 43 minutes, 15 rebounds, 5 assists, 10 for 21, 3 for 7 from the three-point line. He was plus 10 from the field. He had 3 steals. Marcus Smart himself had a pretty big game tonight. It seemed like he hit some clutch threes every time that they needed it. He played 42 minutes. He had 18 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Not a very efficient night from Marcus Smart. He's not very efficient anyway. But going to the Lakers now, Anthony Davis had a pretty good game tonight. He had 37 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists. He was 0 for 2 from the three-point line. He got to the free throw line 15 times tonight. Had 1 block, a steal. He was -8 from the in terms of the plus and minus category. In the first half, it seemed like I believe he finished the half with like 25 points, and it seemed like another quiet night from him where the numbers are there, but you don't really feel the dominant force of Anthony Davis in the game, of him controlling the pace and taking over the game like his stats represented. LeBron had another pretty good game. He had 33 points tonight off 43 minutes, 9 rebounds, 9 assists, 14 for 25 from the field. Pretty efficient night for him tonight. He shot 3 from 11 from the three-point line tonight, so not very efficient from him tonight behind the three-point line. 2 for 4 from the free throw line. He was plus 10 from the field. So again, LeBron having a good game tonight. Anthony Davis, the numbers were there. He was efficient, but not a great game from him tonight. But now we currently have Darvin Ham speaking with the media following the Laker loss to the Celtics, 122-118.
Just strategically trying to see how we can wisely use our timeouts and, give them breaks that way. It's hard because you don't want to. It's twofold. Like, these guys on the court, and I mentioned it after the Detroit game, you have guys that are in a good rhythm together, so you don't want to disrupt that. And on the flip side of that, you don't want to put a player at risk because they've been sitting down over there on the bench for so long, and then you bring them out there and they expect them, the intensity and the speed of the game is at such a level to where it's very easy to get hurt in a situation like that. So just trying to manage the timeouts. I could have done a better job in certain instances and using my timeouts quicker. But, that falls on me. We've got to get better in that regard. But I'm proud of my guys. I'm disappointed we lost. I'm proud of my guys. They competed, all the way to the end. And we gave ourselves a chance to win the game and just didn't, came up a little bit short. Dave?
Yeah, so unlike Philly, where you had the missed layup from LeBron and the missed pull-up from Russ, and it seemed like the momentum kind of went the opposite way from there. You did score the first 4 points in overtime tonight. Where do you think it changed from that point?
I have to go back and look at the film. It was just different situations where, we're trying to force feed the ball to our main guys, and they collapse, they crowd them, the ball gets sprayed around, and guys, are left, and it's a make-or-miss lead, so you have to make-or-miss it. And those are good looks. And the biggest thing is, once we go back and look at the film, is to see if we can get a second or third action quicker. And then that doesn't mean that the ball won't come back to the person that we want to have it. But just getting the things quicker. And it's tough. It's a hard-fought game. Guys are fatigued. And the gin up that pace like that is like, we're human, and you're gonna need breaks. You're not gonna need to, take deep breaths and try to regather yourself. Especially, you get to overtime, and now you got to play another additional 5 minutes. And certain guys have been on the floor the entire fourth quarter, so it's why it's hard. That's why you got to be thankful when you get a W in the NBA, man. It's a tough league, especially against a team like that. One false move, they're gonna make you pay. So it's just a matter of getting the things quicker.
Darvin, to drill a little bit down on what Mike was asking. You had the same lineup the whole fourth quarter, most of the overtime. Was there just a certain point where you decided these guys, I'm going to run with them? Did that reflect maybe the result of this game just feeling more significant? I mean, that's something you usually see in maybe a playoff game, not usually regular season.
Yeah, it was, it's one of these games where you look back when we played Milwaukee, and I'm just speaking on us personally. You look at the Milwaukee game, you look at the Philly game, you look at this game, like these are high-level opponents. And so, to see our guys rise to the occasion was great to see. And, again, you go through your rotation in the first half, third quarter, and that's going to reveal to you who's in a good rhythm, what lineup is working together. And this lineup that I had with Russ, Austin, Troy, Bron, and AD was working. It got us back into the game. It got us the lead and a commanding lead down the stretch. But at the end of the day, man, you just have to go with your gut and live with the results. And that's what I'm doing. It just... additional point, and for anyone that was prepared to ask this question, it's what I told the team after the game is, everybody could talk about free throws, this and that, but whether it's Boston or the Sixers, whoever, the thing we can't do is spot teams 15, 17, 20-point leads, give up 30-plus points per quarter in the first half. Like, we have to do a better job of coming out and from the tip off, pressing our will upon our opponent and showing them what the game is going to be like, what our Laker identity is going to mean during this game, and that has to be on a consistent basis. What you saw in the second half, us digging in defensively, running, getting looks, attacking the paint, that's what I want our identity to be, just a tough, physical, smash-mouth basketball team and who gets stops. And we just can't keep spotting these leads, because if we play like that out the gate, who knows? Maybe our starters get the rest of the last 6 minutes of the game, last 7, 8 minutes of the game. So we have to think of it in those regards. And I just, we'll get better. We'll get better. It sucks, man. And I'm so disappointed we didn't get that and close it out, but we'll get better from it for sure.
That was Darvin Ham speaking with the media following the loss to the Celtics tonight with a final score of 122-118. Darvin Ham taking blame for the game, saying that he should have called some more timeouts down in the fourth quarter, give the guys a rest when, again, like I just talked about earlier, that five he had in with Lonnie Walker, not Lonnie Walker, Troy Brown Jr., LeBron, AD, Reeves, and I can't even think of the other player they had in the game. They had Russ in. They all stayed in the game from 6 minutes on in the third quarter till the end of the game. So they were gassed. Illuminating stat tonight from for the Lakers. After tonight, it was the second time the Lakers blew a double-digit lead with 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter this season. The rest of the NBA has only done this twice combined this season. So Lakers definitely choking down the stretch. Don't like to see that for sure. Russell Westbrook off the bench this season. He's currently averaging 15.2 points per game, 5.8 rebounds per game, 7.9 assists per game. No player has ever averaged 15, 5, and 5 off the bench in a season. So pretty impressive from Russell Westbrook this season, even though down the stretch in overtime tonight, Russ took some shots that he probably shouldn't have taken. Again, I like his aggression to start off the game. Wrong slide. You can see here, these are the stats from overtime today for the Lakers. You could see that Russell Westbrook, he attempted the most attempts in overtime with 6 attempts. He made 3 of them. 2 were 3-point attempts, which he missed both, and he was open strategically for a reason. On TNT's broadcast, the Celtics coach was mic'd up, and he was saying their game plan for guarding the Lakers was to not give any points in the paint and to let them shoot. And in overtime, the Lakers played to the Celtics game. The Celtics started shooting threes, and the Lakers followed with them, and it bit them in the butt. So tough. Then LeBron ended up having 2 field goal attempts, with Anthony Davis being the Lakers' best player, and with the Celtics being down 2 centers, with Al Horford, who's the Celtics' best big man on the team, him being out. Anthony Davis should have had the ball in his hand more. He only had 1 field goal attempt, and that's unacceptable, especially in overtime in a close game like that. And with Anthony Davis missing those free throws down the stretch, I would have liked to see him redeem himself. I feel like this team doesn't really have that killer mentality in them of finishing people off or keeping big leads when they have 15, 20-point leads. They don't extend it. They just let teams come back. The Lakers play good defense when they want to play good defense. There's a lot of gaps in this roster, and that's why they're currently, what's the record? 11-15. Yeah, 11-15. So tough game. A game that easily would have been the best game of the season for the Lakers ended up coming down the stretch and arguably is the worst loss this season so far, or at least most disappointing, I would say. Looking at the rest of the roster tonight, Russell Westbrook with 20 points tonight, 14 rebounds, 5 assists. He had a pretty good game. He's speaking with the media right now. Let's go ahead and take you out to him.
What did you think the difference was there down the stretch?
Tough battling back and trying to close the game out. So, but we had it, competed well.
Dane?
Russ, are there any specific moments after you guys were up 13 that stand out to you as when the tide started to turn? Was it there? I think there was a 3, and then Marcus Smart kind of slid in and stole an inbounds pass. Was there anything else like that kind of stood out to you that triggered their run maybe after you guys had kind of taken control of the game?
I'm not sure.
Dave?
Russ, because you've had these swings, like in tonight's game, you're down 20, then you go to 18-0 run, or the season you're 2-10, then you win 8 out of 10. Do you have a sense of who you are as a team? Like, do you do a belief in who you are as a team, and what is that if you do?
I mean, you got to. If you're a competitor, you should believe, but I can't speak for everybody. I know for myself, as long as I'm, God willing, to be able to compete, then I'll do that till it's all said and done. But, I'm pretty sure guys believe, just about creating some consistency, across the board.
Any more questions for us? Dan?
Down the stretch, Russ, do you like that Darvin kind of rolled with the same group? I think the same 5 played all 12 minutes in the fourth. Do you like that he trusted you guys to close it out? Do you like that he didn't call timeout on that last stretch? Right before, when you had a chance to go ahead at the buzzer.
Oh, yeah, I mean, guys playing in the league a long time. Bron, AD, missing shot, live with it. No need to stop his play. Did a good job of kind of, getting the shot we wanted and missed it.
Yeah, Russ, I know it comes down to the W's, but at the same time, being able to compete head-to-head with this team, Philadelphia, Milwaukee, you beat, does it show, in your mind, improvement on this team? Are you going in the right direction?
There's some spurts, for sure.
Thank you, Russ.
That was Russell Westbrook, who finished the game with a double-double tonight, again with 20 points, 14 rebounds off 35 minutes. He had 4 blocks tonight. He had a steal, 2 turnovers. He was -1 in the plus-minus category tonight. Again, tough loss for the Lakers tonight, who ended up blowing a 13-point lead in the fourth quarter and ended up losing the game in overtime with some clutch free throws being missed by Anthony Davis. Looking ahead for next game, the Lakers play the Denver Nuggets down at Crypto.com Arena, the second of a third game home stretch. The Denver Nuggets is the second overall offensive rating. They just played the first offensive rated team in the NBA against the Boston Celtics. Again, that's a team that has Jokic in the lineup, who was the MVP last season. He's currently averaging 23.8 points per game, 9.1 assists, and 1.2 steals per game. Make sure to tune in Friday for that game. That game starts at 7 o'clock. I'll be going live after that game as well. Diving back into the stats for tonight. Lonnie Walker, quiet game from him. He's been having a career season so far. He's been averaging, what has he been averaging? He's been averaging 16 points per game. Tonight, didn't have a great game tonight. He had 7 points tonight off 23 minutes, 3 rebounds, shot 3 for 6 from the field, which isn't too bad. Efficiency-wise, offensively, he was 1 for 1 behind the 3-point line tonight. He was -18 in terms of his plus and minus. So, not great for the Lakers tonight. Austin Reeves, who's arguably the third most important player on this team, he didn't have a great game tonight as well, at least offensively. Defensively, I liked what I saw from him tonight, though. He played 36 minutes and had 4 points tonight, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, shot 2 for 6 from the field. He was 0 for 2 from the 3-point line. He had a tough foul in the fourth quarter on an and one on, I believe it was Marcus Smart, that ended up bringing the game to, I believe, 2 or 1 point in the fourth quarter with the Celtics comeback, which they were able to end up tying the game, which led to overtime with the Lakers losing. So tough. Troy Brown tonight, he was in the game in overtime. He played pretty well defensively on Jason Tatum. He was probably the only player that was probably able to guard Jason Tatum tonight efficiently, other than LeBron. But LeBron wasn't really on him too much this game. But he played 31 minutes. He had 2 points, 3 rebounds, shot 1 from 3 from the field, had a steal, a turnover. He was plus 12 in terms of plus minus. Thomas Bryant, Austin Reeves, and LeBron were the only players in the plus category and in the plus and minus section. So tough night for the Lakers tonight, blowing the first game of the 3-game home stretch. Let's look at the field goal percentage tonight. The Lakers shot 28% from the 3-point line. The Celtics went crazy behind the 3-point line tonight. They shot 40%, 19 for 48 behind the 3-point line. Again, coming into this game, we knew that they were the number one offensive team. They shoot the most threes in the league. They make the most. So the Lakers didn't follow the game plan on covering perimeter defense, which they've really struggled this season doing, especially down the stretch. I feel like down the stretch in crunch time, the Lakers just fold defensively, and what got them the lead to begin with, when Darvin Ham told him to start playing defense, he was also mic'd up on TNT. Right after that, the Lakers played great defense that we saw in the first half of this, or not the first half, the first quarter of the season, and then they just ended up blowing it down the stretch. But now we currently have Austin Reeves speaking with the media following the Laker loss.
A 14-point lead. I think one time it was 20. We, competed into the fourth, into the third, start of the fourth, throughout the whole fourth, honestly. It was, you you're going to lose games in this league, but that was another one I felt like we should have won.
Defensively, what was working for that group? It seemed like you guys were able to switch more when you had that group with you and Troy and the big three in the fourth quarter.
I think it was just energy and effort. Everybody laying it out on the line. I know, like, especially for me and Troy, that was our focus. You know, we knew AD Brian Russ was going to take care of the offensive end, so the defensive end was really, you know, a point of emphasis for me and him. But everybody played well. I mean, on the defensive end in that fourth quarter. But I think it was just effort.
Were you surprised to be playing the whole fourth? Or when did it sink in that might happen?
I never think about that. I mean, I like to play.
At what point did you guys, I guess, find your energy? Seems like in the first half, at least first quarter for sure, wasn't the same as it was fourth and on. We think back to Philly where y'all had that scramble to get back into the game.
Yeah.
Was it come off a road trip like that and you trying to find yourself?
I mean, you never want to blame it on that. But, you know, we'll watch film and really, you know, assess us individually and as a group. But you know, sometimes it's like that. You know, you can't disregard, you know, what they're trying to do either. Arguably the best team in the league for a reason, and they make things happen. So, you know, I'm just happy with the way we fought back.
That was Austin Reeves following the Laker loss to the Boston Celtics again with a final score of 122 to 118. Again, the Lakers are currently 11-15. They're currently tied for 13th in the Western Conference still with the Oklahoma City Thunder. Where after a quarter way through the season, the December 13th deadline is coming, or not deadline, start is coming up where the players who were signed in the offseason can become available via trade. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Lakers having a few days off. They don't play till Friday, with the 15th being on Thursday, to see if the Lakers make any moves. With the way that Anthony Davis is playing right now and LeBron, you know, he's not getting any younger in his 20th season. I hope Rob Pelinka pulls a string on something, whether if it's a trade for Bogdanovic, whether if he pulls the potential trade that they're talking about for Kuzma, whether if they go after that trade with New York for Reddish and Cam Reddish and Fournier. I don't know, but the Lakers got to do something, whether if they go after Miles Turner and Buddy Hield. It's going to be interesting to see, but you can't look at Anthony Davis straight in the face and say that, hey, we'll start building around you in 2027 and 2029. You know, with the talent that they have right now, they pulled off a win against the Milwaukee Bucks. They went 3-on-3 on this last road trip, and yes, it was disappointing with the Lakers starting 2-0 on that road trip, but they got a win against Milwaukee. They stayed in the game tonight against the best team in the NBA right now with the Boston Celtics. This team can be competitive, but they need more shooters around them. They need more size. They can't. Darvin Ham needs to do better in terms of rotations. He needs to stop playing these 3 and 4 guard lineups with AD playing the center. AD's getting super tired playing. I'm sure doing that as well. Yeah, it's just tough. But congrats to LeBron James tonight. He did move up to second on the all-time 30-point game list. Number 1 is Michael Jordan with 562. LeBron passed Wilt Chamberlain tonight. Wilt Chamberlain had 515, so LeBron is at 516. Who else is on that list is Karl Malone at number 4 at 435. Kobe Bryant has had 431. Kareem has had 429. Oscar Robertson has had 387 games with 30-plus points. KD has 354 at number 8. Jerry West is 9th at 350. And Dominique Wilkins is 10th at 346. So, congrats to LeBron. He's also approaching the all-time scoring record. So he'll probably hit that within the next month or so, I would say, if he stays healthy. Yeah, I saw something on Twitter that was showing the Lakers minutes rotations. Let me pull it up for you guys right now so you could see. Here you could see the Lakers minutes and how much they were playing down the stretch. You could see LeBron had all orange down in the from the middle of the third to the fourth. Anthony Davis from pretty much the beginning of the second all the way down to the end of overtime. He was completely filled. Russell Westbrook, Austin Reeves, and Troy Brown Jr. So when you're not resting any guys and they're playing pretty much the whole second half of the game, they're burnt out in overtime, and going against the Celtic team who's one of the younger teams in the league, especially with their two main players in Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum and Marcus Smart, they have fresh legs, even though that's the second night of a back-to-back, compared to this Laker team who's a little older in age. And ultimately Anthony Davis, he has to make free throws down the stretch, man. Like, if he would have just made one of two free throws, the Lakers probably would have pulled away with the dub. But it is what it is. Looking forward to the next game for the Lakers against the Denver Nuggets. Looking at their stats, go ahead and pull it up for you guys. You can see they're first in 3-point percentage. So it's going to be another game where the Lakers have to defend behind the 3-point line for sure. They're second in assists. They're 10th in points per game at 115. I believe the Lakers are at like 114 point something. Let me see. Lakers are currently 11th at 115. So not bad there. Let's see their net ranking. They're 6th in field goals made. They're 7th in field goal percentage. So a good offensive team, especially with Jokic. They have the old Laker KCP. Jamal Murray's back. He's been playing pretty well. He's been averaging 18.3 points per game. Let's go ahead and start it by that. Aaron Gordon. So the Lakers also need to do a better job of getting some rebounds next game. This game alone, the Lakers gave up, I believe, like 17 or 13. They give up 13 offensive rebounds out of their 51. They got out-rebounded by the Boston Celtics tonight, who didn't even have Al Horford in, who leads that team in rebounding with 15 rebounds a game. Now we currently have LeBron James speaking with the media following this Laker loss to the Boston Celtics.
Tenacity. I loved our tenacity in the second half and put ourselves in a position to win a ball game. And playing against a very good team, but we weren't able to close it up.
LeBron, especially defensively, what do you think the switch was for you guys, and what did you like about that group that played the whole fourth and most of the overtime?
We just picked up our physicality. And we was just very in tune with the game plan. So we have to take some tough shots. I mean, this is a tough shot-making ball club. I mean, from Tatum to Brown, Marcus Smart always makes timely shots. Grant Williams makes some tough shots as well. But you want to just try to make them take tough shots, and you tip your hat off to them when they make them. But you just try to be physical with them, and like I said, make them take tough shots.
LeBron, I know it's hard to go big picture in the emotion of something like this, but how do these almosts, like the almost in Philadelphia, the almost tonight, what does that say big picture about this team? Does it say that you guys are moving in the right direction?
That we lost. You talking to the wrong guy talking about an almost win.
Does it change your long-term view of this team?
No, we lost.
Well, some of us saw AD in there just looking apoplectic, like head down, 1,000-yard stare, and he took responsibility for how Philly ended, and I imagine he's probably feeling some of the same way after those free throws with 28 seconds left. How do you lift him up as a group and recognize that, that's one part of many things that went into tonight's game?
It just means he loves the game. If it was the other way around and he was in there smiling, then you'd be questioning what type of teammates you got. You would. If you go up and miss 2 free throws in a big game like that, and then you come to the locker room and the guys laughing and joking, you'd be questioning what type of teammates you got. So I know who I'm rocking with every single night. So I'm absolutely okay with the way he's feeling. And he got a couple of days. Hopefully he'll leave it here today. If not, take the car ride home, but try not to take it in the house. But if it's one guy on this ball club that I love going up to the free throw line in the clutch is AD. He's been on the other side a lot more times in our 4 years together of closing out games at the free throw line than on the other side. So not worried about it one bit.
BT, Ali, do you have a question? Kyle?
Darvin said one key is that the team needs to come out with more urgency. You guys got down 13 points in the first quarter. What has to happen to keep games closer earlier, and you don't have to expend as much energy?
Every game is different. Every game is different. Those guys hit some tough shots and some big shots early on. We got down 15-5, and we got down as much as 20. But every game is different. Told you guys this morning that the hardest game to play after a long-ass road trip is that first home game. So it probably took us, unfortunately, a quarter to get our legs up underneath us. They played last night, so they're going to be in more of a rhythm. So I don't look too far into it as well. I've been doing this for 20 years. I know. I told you this morning it's the hardest game to play after a 12-day road trip is that first home game, and it showed that in the first half.
Lastly, I'm going to take Jovan and then BT.
LeBron, along those lines, as someone who has played, thousands of crunch time games, are there any observations you're having from some of these close losses of just trends with kind of acknowledging each game is different, but are there certain kind of things that you see going wrong, or is it kind of a case-by-case basis?
No, case by case. That team over there is playing in more crunch minutes than we have as a unit. So they know exactly what they want to do down the stretch. They know exactly how they're going to execute. They don't waver. That's exactly what it is. We're learning. Every game is a game-to-game basis for us. We're learning how we want to play. Like you said, we had a lineup that finished the game tonight that I don't know has finished the game this season. So it's definitely case by case.
LeBron, Darvin took some of the blame for this, especially fourth quarter, playing you guys all the minutes. What does that tell you about him? And is it fair for him to take all the blame or some of the blame for a loss like tonight?
We win together, we lose together. Stay even keel. We all need to get better. We all take accountability for ways that we can be better, but I think him and his coaching staff put out a game plan. Us as players, we try to execute it. There's going to be times where you're on the floor and you definitely you mess up a coverage or you have a turnover or whatever the case may be. That's sport. That's life. Nothing is perfect. But we gave ourselves a chance to win. The coaching staff put us in position with a chance to win, and they was able to make more plays than we did. But I will enjoy my day off tomorrow for sure.
Thank you.
That was LeBron talking after a loss against the Boston Celtics, again with the final score of 122 to 118. LeBron again with a total of 33 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists, shooting 3 for 11 and 2 for 4 from the field. Speaking of, they asked him what with Anthony Davis being really disappointed back in the locker room, him saying that he likes to see that, and I like to hear that too. A lot of people criticized Dwight Howard back then. I'm sure Dwight Howard would have missed free throws. He definitely would have been laughing and playing around in the back. So it's good to see Anthony Davis kind of be down on himself for missing those 2 free throws. More often than not, he's in that situation and he's going to be making those free throws. So he needs to get back in the lab and work on some free throws, because that's the second time that's happened this season. So tough to see for sure. Going into NBA news, the NBA has unveiled new trophies for the MVP award, the Sixth Man award, and the Rookie of the Year award. Let's go ahead and check those out. Here's the Michael Jordan Trophy Award. That's awarded to the most valuable player this season. Nice looking trophy there. The Jerry West Trophy is going to be the NBA Clutch Player of the Year. So new trophy that's been rolled out for the quote-unquote Clutch Player of the Year. They got the Keem Olajuwon Trophy awarded to the Kia NBA Defensive Player of the Year. Definitely watch out for Anthony Davis, who can possibly win that award. The Wilt Chamberlain Trophy awarded to the Kia NBA Rookie of the Year. So all new looking trophies. And then also the John Havlicek Trophy is awarded to the Kia NBA Sixth Man of the Year. Also the George Mikan Trophy awarded to the Kia NBA Most Improved Player of the Year. So those are the new trophies that are going to be presented in the NBA this season. So a lot of people are going to be wanting to get that Michael Jordan Trophy, especially the first one. So it's going to be interesting to see throughout the season with the level of play that people are in conversation for that trophy. Right now, front runner is probably Jason Tatum. You got to add Zion Williamson into that mix. You got to add Giannis and AD if the Lakers end up winning some more games. The way he's been playing, he's definitely in that conversation as well. So we'll have to see. Looking at the Lakers' schedule coming up. Let's go ahead and pull that up for you guys. Lakers just lost to the Celtics. They have 2 more games at home coming up. Again, they have the Denver Nuggets coming up on Friday at 7 o'clock. Make sure to tune in post-game for that game. I'll also be live. Then they ended up playing the Wizards on that following Sunday at 6:30. That's also at Crypto.com Arena to finish off the 3-game homestand for the Lakers. And they end up going on the road for 2 more games against the Suns and the Kings. So within this home stretch, the Lakers could definitely go 2-1 in this stretch. They should beat the Nuggets. They have a really good chance, I think, in my opinion, of beating the Nuggets, and also beating the Wizards, which they've already beat down in Washington last week. And who knows, with maybe a trade coming up, maybe Kuzma ends up being on the Lakers, and Kendrick Nunn and Pat Bev ends up being off this roster. Maybe, hopefully, I don't know. We'll see. But frustrating time for Laker fans for sure this season with the way the front office has been operating and running. Lakers announcing that they don't want to make any trades for the first round picks unless they're getting an all-star back. So trading Patrick Beverley and Kendrick Nunn, I'm not sure exactly what you're going to be able to get for those 2 players without adding any type of pick. I know those picks are coveted around the NBA because 2027 and 2029, we don't know if the Lakers are going to be that good in those years. So I get it. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Lakers end up doing with December 15th coming up. Looking at other scores from tonight, the 76ers beat the Kings tonight 123-103. The Bucks beat the Warriors tonight 128-111. The Rockets beat the Suns tonight 111-97. Wow, that's a surprise. Who went off that game? Let's see. Jalen Green had 26 points. Kevin Porter Jr. had 18 points. Okay. Sanguine had 10 points, 16 rebounds, and 2 assists. Love to see the Suns always lose as a Laker fan right now. Let's see other scores tonight. The Jazz beat the Pelicans tonight. Wow, 121-100. Two surprising scores there for sure tonight. And then the Lakers, of course, lost to the Celtics tonight with a final score of 118-122. So yeah, looking at the Western Conference standings right now, you can see that the Lakers are currently tied with Oklahoma City again for 13th place. They're still only, what are they? They're 3 games out from the 6th seed, which is a for sure playoff spot. Right now we have the Pelicans and tied for the 1st seed with the Grizzlies. Real big surprise from the Pelicans this season. They're going to be scary moving forward. The Memphis Grizzlies, that's not really a surprise. I believe they finished 2nd last season. The Denver Nuggets are currently 3rd at 16-10, which the Lakers are playing next is the Denver Nuggets. Phoenix is currently ranked 4th. Portland's 5th. Clippers are right now 6th with a big win last night to the Celtics, who the Lakers played today. And then for the play-in teams right now, we have the Sacramento Kings at 7th at 14-12. Utah 16-14. The Mavs are 14-13. The Warriors are 14-14 right at 500. So the defending champs are exactly at 500. So not the type of season that they've been expecting so far this season. And then Minnesota is currently 13-14. So the Lakers are pretty fortunate to be able to see the rest of the Western Conference pretty jam-packed together. With the way the roster is constructed right now, I don't know if the Lakers are even gonna reach being 500 this season, unless they make a move. Like I've talked about a lot this post-game show with December 15th coming up. Now the Lakers have more options to make some type of trades. So I expect hopefully we see Pat Bev and Kendrick Nunn out of the lineup. No offense to them, but they haven't been playing well this season. I've been showing you stats of Patrick Beverley all season. He hasn't been producing. The Lakers don't get off to good starts, and I could say a reason for that is the lack of offense that we have with Patrick Beverley. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. But now we currently have Troy Brown Jr. speaking with the media following the loss to the Boston Celtics.
His ability to really.
That's the biggest thing. I feel like when we were making that run, it was more like letting our defense turn into offense first. And I think that was the biggest thing for us. It's just, a lot of fast break points, a lot of stops, and then we're out and running. I feel like that's when we're at our best.
Troy, how did these kind of almost sit with you? Like the almost in Philadelphia, the almost here. I mean, against the types of teams that you guys want to be on the same tier with. Are you encouraged by being close? Are you disappointed with the results? Is it probably, I'd imagine, a mixture of the two?
I would say a little bit of both. I mean, honestly, as a player, obviously, it's disappointing to lose. Nobody ever wants to lose, but at the same time, Boston is one of the best teams in the East, and so for us, we had that game. You go back, you watch film, and the biggest thing for us is just seeing where we made mistakes, and so instead of moping on it and harping on it, or nitpicking who could have did what or what we could have did better, it's at the end of the day, it's on us. We gotta watch film and get it together and figure out what points in the game were pivotal for us to turn around and figure that out. So it's a little bit of both. It's a double-edged sword. So yeah.
Considering that you lost the Indiana game the way you guys did, and obviously in that game it wasn't like you were climbing back from being down a bunch, but you had the big lead late. Is there any did you think back to that at all? Oh man, this happened to us again. Yeah. Whereas sometimes you can make a mistake once and move past it.
No, I think at the end of the day, you gotta leave that in the past. It is what it is. We gotta learn from it. That kind of thing. I said it's a double-edged sword. But at the end of the day, you can't harp on it. It's an 82-game season. It's a long season, and at the end of the day, nobody's gonna nobody's gonna wait on us. Nobody's feeling sorry for us, you know. Like, we gotta figure it out. So it's one of those things where, like, that game for us is like, all right, this is a completely different team. You know, other stuff happened. We gotta figure out what we gotta go back and fix. And that's just what it is.
You guys had a 13-point lead with 4 minutes left. Where do you think things kind of, was it like the offensive execution, or is it the defense, or where did you kind of see things flip in the last few minutes?
I feel like they started picking it up. I feel like they were kind of in like a scramble mode. Like, what can we, because we were up. That's the thing. Like, we had the lead. Different team, you know, other stuff happened. We got to figure out what we got to go back and fix. And that's just what it is.
You guys had a 13-point lead with 4 minutes left. Where do you think things kind of, was it?
But there are some.
That was Troy Brown Jr. talking after the tough loss to the Boston Celtics tonight. Troy Brown was plus 17 in terms of plus minus tonight. Just talking about the multi-guard lineup that Darvin Ham likes to play. Patrick Beverley was minus 10 tonight. Dennis Schroeder was minus 15 tonight. Lonnie Walker was minus 15 tonight. Austin Reeves was plus 16. And Troy Brown Jr. was plus 17 tonight. It's tough. I don't know what else Darvin Ham needs to see to start making some type of adjustments in the starting lineup. I would take out Patrick Beverley and insert Austin Reeves, or even reinsert Troy Brown Jr. into that lineup. The Lakers lack size. They need some type of wing defender, especially when they have the opponent team as an elite wing like Jason Tatum in the game. And for instance, next game, they have Jamal Murray, which he's a point guard, but his size, he's kind of like a wing. So they also have Aaron Gordon. They have KCP, who the Lakers lost from their championship year in 2020. That was the Lakers, one of the other Lakers wings that they ended up losing. So even against the Nuggets next game, it's going to be interesting to see who ends up playing those minutes and who's guarding the wing rotation players. I'd like to see Troy Brown get some more minutes. So we'll see what Darvin Ham does, if he ends up making any more adjustments going forward. I feel like it's kind of the same thing that's been happening the last couple of seasons with Frank Vogel, with everyone complaining about the rotation. So we'll see. Looking at next game against the Denver Nuggets, here's a preview for the game. You can see that they both average 115 points per game. The Lakers lead in the rebounding department with 45.5 rebounds per game. Before I actually get to this, we have Anthony Davis currently speaking with the media.
I haven't thought about the rest of the game. Make 2 free throws, go up 4, different ball game. So to me, the rest doesn't matter. Have a chance to ice the game, miss both.
You guys were able to finish, in Detroit with a win, following the disappointment of Philly. And you took ownership of the way Philly went because of the errant free throw. What did you do to get yourself over that, and what can you do now to get yourself in a space to look forward to this Denver game?
I got 2 days. Pretty sure I'll be over by then, but just tough. I mean, Boston's a great team. Philly's a great team. 2 great teams in the East. Got a chance to, as a team, but me personally have a chance to kind of seal both games. Missed one in Philly, missed both tonight, which both resulted in losses. So I know it's more to it in a game where you can point things out, lead with 4 minutes and all that, but and we got to do a better job of executing in that situation, playing with the late game. But, for me, you go back to the free throws and Philly, go up one, no timeouts, full court, and then, go up four and, 2-possession game. So that's what my head is right now.
Eddie, I think you came back in at the 5-minute mark of the second quarter and didn't exit the rest of the game. I know you don't want to use that as an excuse necessarily, but how tired were you at the end of the fourth and playing, almost 30 straight minutes or something like that? Like, what was that kind of like for you physically?
I was fine. That's not an excuse of missed free throws or anything. I could have asked to come out. Felt good. And so me.
AD, was there a moment after you guys went up by 13 that it felt like Boston's intensity level switched? Is there anything that stands out from those 4 minutes, other than obviously the things that you're hyper focused on right now?
I think they just started playing a little bit faster with a sense of, with the sense of desperation. Tatum started hitting shots. Grant hit a 3 on the wing. Marcus Smart was getting to the basket. I know it just things, and they were coming down, and we missed a lot of shots. Obviously, we were trying to get to our moneymaker. Pick and roll. It was me, Russ. Me and Bron, whatever. But they came down and executed their plays and transition. Jason Tatum with the layup, the layup. All those things just kind of played a part, which they were able to cut the lead. But I think they just started playing with a sense of desperation and executed their offense.
AD, this team and just in general, you've been someone that can be counted on at the free throw line. And you mentioned that that's what's going on in your mind, but you guys still had 5 minutes left to play. So as a player for yourself, what is that challenge then in overtime in that moment as you have to kind of leave it there?
You gotta have a next play mentality, especially when you got 5 minutes of basketball left. Hold myself to a standard from the line. It's unacceptable for me, but you got to go and try to complete the game and go up 4, Russ 2 layups. Then they get a layup and a 3. So. I don't know. I honestly just got to go back and watch overtime and the last 4 minutes, 5 minutes of the fourth. But right now, it's just the free throws just kind of went on me. So the rest of the game, I really don't even know right now.
Yeah, you only took one shot in the overtime. Was that something they were doing or something?
I don't know. I got to go back and see.
AD, can you talk about, obviously we've been focusing many people on these 3 games, the win over Milwaukee, the very excellent game against Philadelphia, and then tonight. Does it show this team is making progress compared to the start of the year? Do you think this is a much stronger team than you were at the start of the year?
Yeah, we're competing. We're a team that we feel like we can match up with anyone and win any game. So, we got a bunch of fighters on our team, guys who can make plays. We just got to finish games when we playing against some of the good teams, Boston, Philly. But, we're a team that believes in what we do and what we got.
You could see Anthony Davis frustrated after this game tonight, after only getting 1 touch in overtime and missing two free throws that would have put them up and sealed the deal for them tonight, and also missing some free throws down the stretch against Philly that would have won them the game. So instead of being 11 and 16, they would have been 13 and 14. So they would have only been 1 game out of being 500. Now they're back to being 5 games under 500. So tough for Anthony Davis for sure. But going back to the comparison for between the Lakers and the Nuggets for next game, you can see it's pretty even across the board. Wrong one. Sorry. It's pretty even across the board. The Lakers and the Nuggets both average 115 points per game. They're both pretty close in terms of rebounding. The assist department, Denver is a little better in terms of assists. They have better scorers on their team, better three-point shooters, of course. They're about dead even in steals. The Lakers are better in blocks. They're about the same in turnovers. So hopefully the Lakers do a good job of not turning the ball over next game. Field goal percentage, Denver's a better shooting team. They're a better three-point shooting team. Again, they have shooters. The Lakers' advantage obviously is points in the paint. That's why the points in the paint is 57 to Denver's 53.2. So Lakers definitely need to capitalize playing in the paint and not playing to Denver's offense where they like to shoot a lot of threes. So interested to see what happens next game with Anthony Davis going against Nikola Jokic, he's averaging 23.8 points per game this season. AD's averaging 28.1 points per game. So I'm very intrigued to see how Anthony Davis plays against a bigger center. If he's even going to be playing the 5 on Friday, or if Darvin Ham is going to choose to go with maybe starting Thomas Bryant. We'll have to see with that as well. So that ends up doing it for me tonight, Laker fans. Hope you guys have a great night, and I look forward to make sure to catch me Friday post game after